So, I was reading The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus, and I have recently started philosophy. I have never been into philosophy when I was little. I mean, I loved like debating and stuff about religion, about living, about people and shit. But I've always never been into philosophy. So Camus was basically my first guy that I went into fully. I've read like half of Nietzsche Beyond Good and Evil. That's a difficult book. I will come back to it after a while. I've read Meditations. I don't like Stoicism. I think Stoicism is stupid. You know, can't control your brain and all that. Stoicism, I will debate anyone that Stoicism is stupid anywhere, anytime. So I read Nietzsche, then I got Dostoevsky's Nights, and read a little of it, didn't really like it. And then I was scrolling through Instagram and somebody said order Myth of Sisyphus. You shouldn't start at Myth of Sisyphus. That's what people say, but I started at Myth of Sisyphus and I think it's great. I used ChatGPT. I read a page and used ChatGPT to scan the page and tell me detail by detail what Camus trying to say, and I think he's actually perfect in whatever he's saying until about now. I have read about where he's criticizing other philosophers because they are not accepting the absurd as is Camus is accepting the absurd, and he's building a absurd man that accepts absurd and doesn't really care about it and moves on. So I'm at that part, and Camus is 100% truthful in his way, in his thing, in his philosophy. Up until now, I couldn't say about later, but up until now, I believe in the absurd. I think it is perfect for the explanation of the world. We live in the society. Society has been developed by humans. We humans have, always been in search of meaning. I mean, that's the purpose of life for people. Find meaning. And they find meaning to good things. I will come back to that later, but they find meaning and they cannot accept that there is no meaning. People can't accept that there is no meaning. I mean, that's the biggest philosophy's question. Camus says that the people are the biggest question is if this is willing to live for or not, because without meaning there is nothing to live for, and Camus is gonna explain that later. I've read a little what he's trying to explain, and I might not agree with it, I think, but let me read what Camus says and I'll get back to it. But Camus says, and I think I will expand on it, Camus says that we ourselves have been a mistake, a coincidence in evolving, because we are not, there's no meaning behind us. We are coincident. We have come out of carbon, dying stars, and the universe is itself, and we are the universe experiencing ourselves. And there is no meaning to that. There is no meaning. Absurd. The thing is absurd. Absurdicism. It is better than nihilism, because nihilists, they usually are very dark and societal people. These both are very similar philosophies, but I think maybe Camus will have a better way of escaping, because if you accept there is no meaning, then there isn't literally no meaning. Camus is 100% right. From what I've read, from what I think, from what I believe, Camus is right. There is no meaning. We are just here cause we are here. And we are trying to create meaning out of something that doesn't exist. If you try to find meaning in a well, you'll never find any meaning. So that's it. And religion is a, well, I think Camus says religion is escape. It is also escape, but people are tied to religion from their beginning of their lives, or introduced to it because they suffer and they feel, oh, now I need to do this. I can't explain why. Maybe it's because they don't want to suffer again. But many people I see do a stupid thing, or something happens in their life and they accept God. I don't know why. That's just stupid for me. And many people believe in God as a way of means. But I feel like people really don't believe in gods. Like most of them are just believing in for the sake of believing, because they have been not told otherwise. They're not any thinkers. People just believe what they have because they are born and they are told, well, you're a Christian. You have to live like this, like this, like this, and they don't question it for the rest of their life and die that way. I think people are stupid. People don't really think for themselves anymore. They just believe in a system. They're only out there for other people's justification. They really, really don't care about exploring, about questioning. Nope, nothing. I mean, I live in a country where we don't question the government, let alone our beliefs. If our beliefs collapse, I think my country would collapse. That's sad. And I believe that we are out of great minds, because you can't raise an opinion without somebody or the other. Maybe you get killed for your opinions, you get hate, you get trolled on the internet. Not that that matters, but people even come to your houses and will beat the shit out of you because you have an opinion that's not like theirs. And if you're born into a household that accepts religion and you differ from it, they are really sad. That's to say the least. And I think that's very bad for this world. Nothing really matters in this whole world, and you have to create meaning from it. And meaning can be created from something you love doing. I enjoy reading. I enjoy playing games. And maybe there is meaning in that, but it doesn't really matter, does it? If I have a big car, big house, or big nothing, it doesn't really matter. Does that matter? No. Because meaning is formed from person itself. Niche actually says to find your own meaning, create your own values. And that person is the greatest human of all time. The person creates their own values and meanings and does not inherit it from others. Religions inherit meaning because, well, I have to say this: religions are a very stable and safe thing to be widespread in society because it has worked. You believe in religion tells you to do work, and you work until you are 60, you retire, you have 2 kids, get them married, they settle in, and you spend the rest of your lives praising God and His existence. You don't really live, do you? You don't have a view. You always praise someone, you always beg from God, you're always begging for this, begging from no one. It's like shouting in the mountains and saying, please give me something. You will get nothing. If you get that, they got loopholes. If you don't get that, they've got loopholes. That's stupid. If you're begging out for something and you get it, Thank God, thank God. But if you don't get it, you're like, oh, he's gonna give me something better. Oh, he's saving it for later. Stupid. How how do you go to a place, sit there for hours, and just beg and come back? And they beg for stupid things, cars, money. But people beg for a better life, and that's great. People should make a better life. And they don't take responsibility for themselves. They don't really think for themselves. And pain and suffering is avoided at all costs, I believe. People don't really want to suffer, and suffering is really important. Dostoevsky says that suffering and pain make great men. I may believe that, I may not believe that, but I think it really helps if you suffer, and great men come from it. Great men, I mean thinkers, and people just excel in what they love doing. And and money, this world is fascinated by money, and money is like the most worthless, absurd thing of all time. You can buy food, clothes, shelter, etc. with money. That I believe. But we have created money. Society created money so that people have to work for money created by who? Us, society. That's just stupid. In my ideal world, there is no money. We all live in harmony, eat, sleep, and get along with each other, I think. But that may not happen ever. Because people want power and money. Money corrupts people. And power comes with money, or money comes with power, vice versa. And a person is not the same with it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish Myth of Sisyphus. I recently read Leo Tolstoy's How Much Land Does a Man Need? It's a really short story. It was really great. It turns out we need exactly 6 feet of land, because we're gonna get buried in 6 feet of land. Or in here, in my town, we get burnt, and we really don't need that much land. Well, the land needed is nothing. We don't even need land, because we'll just get scattered into waters. So no land for us. And I think it shows a really great deal of a person's greed. Greed never ends, that's true. If a person gets money or power, their greed never ends. It's like the most common thing ever. And also is social media influencers. Dude, people get influenced by influencers and celebrities. Are you kidding me? These guys, they're great at. Now I love movies, I love cinema, but these guys are stupid rich and have a dumb money. You listen to them because you want to dictate how you live according to them. They got rich and famous because of their lucky, their acting's great, or they look amazing. Why do you need so much money? I mean, I say make movies, make great movies. I love watching movies. But don't expect money from things you love to do. That's stupid. What? Do you expect money when you eat a good food? You usually give money to eat good food. And yeah, I think this world's going to shit, in my opinion. I mean, kids my age, not to like be on the upper echelon, but kids my age are like very, very sad. They don't think for themselves. Their parents tell them you have to do this, they do that. This college you're going, you go that, and you get a job, and you slave away for the rest of your life for tyrants that don't even care about you. You get money, you get cars, but what use is that? You know, you'll get. I mean, you can send your son in a bus. It usually costs way less. And people that know my son will go in a car, in an Audi, in a BMW. I will go in an Audi and BMW. It doesn't matter. It's a car. You should get over it. You should live your life. Enjoy what you have. Make peace with what you have. And find something you love. So yeah, I'll be reading rest of Myth of Sisyphus, and I really enjoyed this. Hope you guys read it. Hope somebody reads it. And it's a great book. And I'll finish short stories by Leo Tolstoy. And I'll start Dostoevsky, The Idiot, The Brothers Think, and the, let me check the Idiot. The three novels. I will read that, and I I love giving my opinion on things that people don't really care about. Yeah. See ya.